everybody.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Lights Out. I'm your host, Josh.
And I'm your host, Austin.
And I'm the producer, Daniel.
And we're back with another one. And today, it's summertime. Many of us are taking some vacations.
Oh, yeah. Summertime and the living's easy.
That's beautiful. It's vacation season, and, most of the time, vacations go off without a hitch.
Yeah.
Have a great time, come back, you got memories, all those core memories are made.
But
there's another alternative to that. You could go on vacation and never come home, was one possibility, and that's some of the stories we're going to be covering today. That's exactly what happens.
Do you ever get paranoid before
yeah.
going on vacation? I was like,
this show has made me very paranoid about a lot of shit in life. Let's be honest. I mean, it's forever changed me, and I'm still trying to figure out if it's for the better or not. Because,
like, awareness.
Yeah, just like, we were talking about it before the show. I was on a little family trip over the weekend to a mountain town that has an amusement park, and the entire time that I'm there, I'm judging the shit out of the amusement park. I'm like hyper focusing on the employees, making sure that they're actually watching. I'm doing my own inspection of the rides. Even during it, I'm like looking around seeing if anything's rattling or shaking, making sure my harness is staying snug. Because, dude, there's too many stories of
just like sweating.
Yeah,
oh my God.
It's not even like, how'd you enjoy the ride? I don't know. I was not paying attention, dude. I was like, is this gonna fall over? And this was an amusement park on top of a fucking mountain, dude.
Oh man.
There's a crazy coaster. So if you're interested, it's Glenwood Springs, and there's this Caverns Adventure Park there, and there's this fucking roller coaster. It's actually really fun, but it's hanging over the side of a mountain, and it sends you straight up. So 90-degree angle, you go straight up, straight down.
Sweet.
And you feel like you're just gonna fly right off this mountain, and then you do a bunch of swirls and twirls and stuff. And the whole time, I wasn't even able to enjoy the ride because I was like, oh, this feels a little rickety to me. Like, is my harness on? Because they're like, keep your head back. And it's like impossible to do that. You're like, oh.
Yeah, right. Man, the way they engineer some of these roller coasters too nowadays. Have you seen this one? It's in Cedar Point, Ohio, which we used to go to all the time growing up in the Metro Detroit area. You would just drive an hour to go to Cedar Point. It's such a sick amusement park.
Amusement park.
Yeah, it's huge. It's awesome. Highly recommend if you're in that area. But they have this new one they just opened where the whole train car stops in a horizontal position, and the rail drops.
To
that's
a
vertical
wild
position while you're in the train car. Like the whole track unlocks
to give you that feeling of, it could go off the rails at any point.
Yeah. And then they hold you there until they just drop you off of it. But yeah, it's insane. And I'm like, thank God we have some solid engineers behind this, because if some idiot, if I tried to design a roller coaster like that, nightmare scenario.
Yeah, we might be talking about it in one of these episodes.
Right, exactly.
Because, we're going to be talking about actually an indoor roller coaster disaster. Lethal coconuts, which who would have thought? You can die from being struck by a coconut.
Yeah. Apparently this is a real, speaking of paranoia, a lot of people are paranoid about falling coconut in tropical.
Careful where you take that beach nap.
Yeah.
Might not wake up.
Might be a permanent nap.
Beware of the palm trees that you're around. But also, we all love going in the water when we hit the beach. You go to the beach, you go take a little swim. Well, we're also all paranoid of sharks.
Thank you, Steven Spielberg.
For
making
seriously.
Jaws.
Yeah, forever we're all traumatized. And it's still something I think about, especially now being a dad and having my kid out there. It's like a whole other anxiety. I'm like scanning the water. I don't like to swim where I can't see in the water. Like murky water is just like, No,
agreed.
I'll avoid it if I can.
Yeah.
Because I just, visibility is important for you, but also the shark.
Yeah.
I know they can,
Smell.
they use other shit to detect stuff, but still, I know they have eyes, so they can see too.
Yeah.
But so we got a shark attack we're going to talk to you about today. We also have a really recent story, which is really sad, about hiking around a volcano. Because the thing with these stories too is I think it definitely helps create a little bit of awareness around just being vigilant when you're out on vacation, because I think it's so easy to just get totally unplugged, totally relaxed, and let your guard down.
Yes.
And even potentially just not think through everything as clearly as you would in maybe other circumstances in normal life, right? You're kind of on vacation, and a lot of places too make you feel like you're safe.
Everything's fine.
Everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of assume like, well, thousands of people have been here, but all it takes is just one thing to go wrong.
Yeah.
And then things end very differently. But we're going to end off with, of course, another cruise ship story that actually has somewhat of a happy ending to it.
Yes. Yeah. Two different stories. So not everything's fatal.
It's not all doom and
terrible.
gloom today, but
yeah. Some of it is.
Most of it is.
Some of it isn't. And just remember, if you're listening, when you go on vacation this summer, you're going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Right, Josh?
Yeah, it's going to be fine. Just double check everything.
Yeah.
Just look over your
be
shoulder.
Safe. Be safe.
Yeah, be safe. You know, like, don't do anything that we wouldn't do. All right. Saying a whole lot. But anyways, let's go ahead and also I just want to say, for those that listened to the last episode, it was that was a guest episode with National Park After Dark. We really enjoyed doing that episode with them.
Yeah, that was great.
Awesome people. We had tons of great conversation, both on camera, off camera. Lovely people. And yeah, we would definitely have them back in a heartbeat. In hindsight, I'm kind of like, if we do have them back one day, we should do wild animal attacks or something.
Yeah, definitely.
That kind of fits their theme a little bit more and ours.
Yeah.
That'd be really interesting, especially since they have so much firsthand experience with these animals.
They were teaching us all about bear attacks, what to do. Yeah, it was a lot of valuable information I learned.
Got 3 seconds.
3 seconds to pull that bear spray.
Quick draw. Yeah, so learned a lot. It was a lot of fun having him on. It seems like most of you really enjoyed it. I know some of you are like, you guys, this detracts from the story and stuff. And I'm like, I get it. You know, you like to be immersed. You like to get right to it. But you know, it's good for us to socialize, all right? We can't only be friends with the three of us in here.
Right, yeah. And we are trapped in here constantly.
We are in a living hell in this studio. The amount of problems we've had lately, I don't know what it is. And now I'm worried it's me, because
the moment he stepped into the studio today, we had a problem. Very odd. Technological problem, but it's like suspiciously timed for when Josh gets in here.
Yeah. Makes no sense. I'm constantly bashing my head against the wall with this studio.
Yeah. So besides Sage, I don't know if anybody has
what
any
else should we do
out there.
Just burn it down?
I was saying we drag him to the closest natural body of water and baptize him in the name of the Father.
I need some holy water.
Yeah.
I need to be cleansed by the Holy Ghost, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's go ahead and get into our first story, which is a very tragic one. On June 21st, 2025, so this happened real recently. You might have seen this in the news or on social media. That's actually how I came across this story. But 26-year-old Brazilian pole dancer Juliana Marins was vacationing in Indonesia. And in February, she left her home near Rio de Janeiro for a big trip through Southeast Asia. And before reaching Indonesia, she had visited Thailand, Vietnam, and the Philippines. In her last Instagram post, she wrote, quote, "Never try, never fly." Her photo showed beautiful scenery from her travels. I mean, those are some awesome countries to visit. She and a group of 6 other tourists had been hiking along a trail near the crater of Mount Rinjani, which is an active volcano that last erupted in 2016. It stands more than 12,000 feet high on the island of Lombok. And man, that's another bucket list item for me too, is to see like an active volcano.
Yeah.
That's like actively erupting.
Yeah, that would be nuts. Have you ever seen like the Mount St. Helen stuff and just all the photographs and video footage?
Insane.
It is wild.
It's just, yeah, what a wild moment that was.
Yeah. It's
see a
terrifying.
Mountain blow up.
Yeah. It really humbles you. You're like,
whoa,
I'm small in this world at the end of the day.
Yeah. The Yellowstone supervolcano.
Yeah,
it's another one that's
one day,
bound to erupt. But according to Indonesian government data, 8 people have died and 108 people have suffered injuries while hiking in the Mount Rinjani region since 2020. The excursion cost $150, and Juliana thought, what a great opportunity to see an active volcano from above. So early that morning, the small group was on its way to the peak. Juliana was last seen in a video with a friend joking about how they chose to do the hike for the views, but they were completely surrounded by fog. The high humidity makes the trail slippery, and there's a consistent fog in certain areas around the volcano, which that'd be kind of a bummer, right? You go up there for the views, and then
you can't see anything. Yeah.
Weather's not cooperating. But later during the hike, Juliana said she was tired and needed a break. The guide, 20-year-old Ali Mustafa, allegedly told Juliana to stay behind while the rest of the group went ahead instead of having the whole group wait with her. And according to the guide, he waited 3 minutes ahead of her on the trail, and after about 15 to 30 minutes went by, Juliana didn't show up. So he's like, okay, this is kind of weird. Let me go back and see what's going on. So we went back to look for her at the nearest resting place, but she wasn't there. He then spotted a flashlight on a ravine several hundred feet down this cliff face. And that's when he heard Juliana's voice calling out for help. So he yelled down to her, telling her to wait for help, and then he reported the accident to the tour agency he worked for. At some time around 6:30 a.m., Juliana had fallen and slid about 500 feet off the cliff near the trail. And that same day, a search and rescue team of nearly 50 service workers tried to find her. They heard her screams for help, and she was eventually spotted on a slope face near the crater, still alive. But according to the search and rescue team, low visibility from the fog and bad weather made it difficult to rescue her. The loose soil on the cliff face where she landed later caused her to slide even further down. She fell and slid well over 1,000 feet in total toward the crater, so the middle of this volcano. One report claims she was 1,600 feet from the cliff's edge from where she initially fell. Rescue crews also reported that since she was trapped on soft sand, it would have been difficult to retrieve her with a rope system. And we have a little footage here just to give you a better idea of what this looks like. But here's some footage of where she was first seen from the top of the cliff, and you can see just what challenging terrain this is.
Yeah, it looks like hell too.
Yeah.
You really get the perspective of how far down.
Zoom out. Whoa.
We're here with you.
Isn't that crazy? Can't see anything.
So it's just straight down.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Because they're kind of up walking on the rim of the volcano at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So something happened where she slipped down the side.
Yeah, and then kept sliding further and further. Hours passed, and the family was initially told it would take about 7 hours to rescue Juliana. And the family only knew what was going on because they had been contacted through social media by some of the other hikers that day who had befriended Juliana. But hours and hours passed, and then days. The search and rescue team struggled to find a safe path down to her. Her family frantically pleaded for the rescuers to do more. Now, keep in mind, her family is in Brazil, so not only is there language barriers, there's just distant barriers, and there's a lot of confusion because the communication is lacking. A video, though, showing the rescue team giving food and water to Juliana made it back to the family, and her family initially celebrated what they saw on the video, but they later claimed that the footage was doctored, since they were informed that the crew's rescue ropes were actually too short to reach her. They had only half the length they needed to rescue her at the time.
Can you believe that, though?
Yeah, what? Then this is like their search and rescue government agency is sending them this video that's fake?
Yeah, the fact that this whole thing is like a government cover-up.
Yeah, what the hell?
Is crazy.
Yeah. Juliana's sister, Mariana, said, quote, "The Indonesian government is lying, and the embassy is not verifying the facts before informing us. She is not receiving supplies." After several days, it became obvious that the crew had never reached Juliana when they said they did. Her family complained about the lack of communication between the Indonesian and Brazilian authorities. The Brazilian government, the embassy, and the Indonesian government did not offer any support to the family. They were also wondering why the park was still open to other tourists who were still hiking and checking out the views while the search and rescue mission for Juliana was still ongoing. The park reported that 2 rescue personnel were deployed to reach the victim's location and check the second anchor point at a depth of 1,140 feet. But 2 more large overhangs were discovered before they could actually reach Juliana, making it impossible to install the anchor. So this meant that the rescue team would not only have to descend toward the crater down, but they would also have to actually climb up over 2 overhangs to reach her. I don't even understand how that's possible, how she even would have gotten there, but this was being reported by the search and rescue team. Meanwhile, many became interested in the rescue mission online, and countless social media users hounded Indonesia's National Search and Rescue Agency. A drone later captured footage of where she was found, and you can see, we'll just roll some overlay here. She seems very dazed, possibly in shock and injured, but she was still alive at this moment when they got the drone footage of her. It looks like there's a little divot that she's sitting upright in, but it almost looks like she can't tell what's going on. But in the end, the search and rescue crew failed to save Juliana after almost 4 days. Authorities announced on Tuesday, June 24th, that her body had been found. It is not exactly clear when she died. Her family ended up writing on Instagram, quote, "Today, the rescue team managed to reach the place where Juliana Marins was. With immense sadness, we inform you that she did not survive. We remain very grateful for all the prayers, messages of affection and support that we have received." Her remains were eventually evacuated the following day to a hospital where her father identified the body.
Well, today's sponsor is one of my favorites because they truly help me take care of some of the most important creatures in my life. My kitty cats, which Austin does not have a kitty cat as far as I know.
I don't, but my girlfriend has one. She just got one a few weeks ago. It's the cutest little cat in the world. Maybe we'll post a picture over the
like
ad.
A kitten?
We actually don't know how old it is.
Oh.
It was a shelter cat that they kind of found on the street. They were guessing it was maybe 1.5 years old, but this is the sweetest cat I've ever met. Super social, comes and just snuggles and wants to get pet and play. And it's a very adorable cat.
Well, how about that?
Yeah.
Cats are great, and all my cats are. I truly have some really great cats, and if you've got cats, then you need to start feeding your cats Smalls cat food because it is protein-packed, and they have a bunch of different recipes, and they're made with preservative-free ingredients that you'd find in your fridge, and it's delivered right to your door. I've been giving my cats Smalls for a while now because they've been a lovely sponsor of several of our shows here at Mile High for a while, and my cats absolutely love it. And one of my cats is underweight, so this has really helped kind of put a little bit more meat back on the bones, but in a healthy way. But they love Smalls, and it comes in a bunch of different blends. Ground bird is the blend that they like.
Yum.
Grounded up bird. Poultry, baby.
Hey, I guess I eat shredded chicken. What's the difference?
Exactly. Just looks like burrito filling, honestly. Yeah. So the cats love it. You'll love it because it's just so easy. It shows up right at your door. It's got this neat little container so you can, portion it out. And they've got a bunch of different blends that your cat will absolutely love. Smalls is so confident that your cat will love their product that you can try it risk-free, which means they'll refund you if your cat won't eat their food. So you really got nothing to lose with it. 88% of cat owners reported overall health improvements. I'm one of those owners. Yeah, I'll be interested. See if we can get some Smalls over to your guys' new cat.
Yeah, I would love that.
And see how they like it because it's good stuff.
Mika, that's her name.
Mika. Nice. Yeah. I like it. Mika. Mine are Meatball, Meatball, Lily, and Tucker.
Nice.
Great cats. And I know there's some cat parents out there. So for a limited time only, because you are a Lights Out listener, you get 60% off your first Smalls order plus free shipping when you head to smalls.com/lightsout.
That's 60% off when you head to smalls.com/lightsout plus free shipping. Again, that's smalls.com/lightsout.
So obviously we're all like 4 days.
4 days.
And how come we didn't get some type of helicopter or something like that to like go down in there and rescue her? I mean, if a drone is able to locate her,
right,
it seems like that'd be the most logical way to rescue her. And
The helicopter question was one I had too while I was coming across all this. And the most I could think of was that it was the weather and fog conditions. So the helicopter could not get up there. Because that was my first thought too. I was like, how is there not a helicopter extraction out here? And none of the news outlets were really talking about that. So my best guess was weather and fog conditions. But
yeah, and it makes you wonder, is this just the pilots? Because you look at the U.S. Coast Guard. The types of rescues they make. They make all sorts of crazy, harrowing rescues. Right. Even rescues happening in the Texas floods that just happened. People, first responders risk their lives to go rescue people in these situations. But in this story, it's like
hanging back for 4 days.
They knew likely what the outcome would be if they just sat around and waited. It's interesting that even after the drone spotted her, seemingly still alive, that they didn't be like, oh my gosh, she's actually still alive. We
got to get down there.
Because it seems like maybe at the beginning they assumed that she was already gone at that point. And so they're like, well, we'll just wait till it's a recovery of a body at this point. So we'll wait till the weather.
They did hear her screaming though.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
There's her screaming. It's like, there was just a lack of urgency to go down and get her. And like nobody wanted to step up and try to make this happen.
Right. And then not having the proper length of rope. That seems.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. What do you mean you don't have the proper? Get a longer rope.
Yeah.
How hard is it?
This is
tie
a volcano,
some ropes together,
man. Yeah. That made no sense to me.
It's weird too, because it's like, this couldn't be the first time that this happened before, or somebody.
Yeah, they said people had died before in this exact, not the exact area, but at least the park where this happened.
Right. So you think they'd be prepared in the event that something like this happened?
And I think that's a big thing in this whole case, is that their emergency preparedness for their search and rescue, they're just
majorly lacking there. Because the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Brazil reported, quote, after 4 days of work made difficult by adverse weather, ground and visibility conditions in the region, teams from the Indonesian Search and Rescue Agency found the body of the Brazilian tourist. The Brazilian government extends its condolences to the family and friends of the Brazilian tourist for the immense loss caused by this tragic accident. After her death was confirmed, her father wrote a tribute to Juliana on Instagram saying, "You left doing what you love most, and that comforts our hearts a little. Your presence stays in our home, in your room, in your favorite place on the sofa in the living room. Make your presence remarkable in the lives of those who have had the privilege to know and walk with you." But the Indonesian Search and Rescue Agency appeared to distance itself from the situation while also sharing pictures of the crew retrieving Juliana's body. One of the captions said, quote, "Trekking to Mount Rinjani is an extreme tourism sport. Be respectful, understand limitations when accidents happen. Do not blame rescuers unless you have walked in their shoes." The post was later deleted as the questions and criticisms came pouring in from around the world.
What a bizarre, yeah, what a weird thing to say too after a tragedy like this. Like,
well, it's an extreme thing to do, so why are you doing it in the first place? Kind of like blaming a little bit.
Right,
like,
yeah.
It's kind of their fault for doing it.
Right, and no accountability taken here either. It's just like, oh, well, put yourselves in the shoes of the search and rescue team. I can.
Yeah.
And I would be like, we need to get down there. I don't know. What a bizarre statement.
Be respectful, understand limitations.
Yeah.
Do not blame rescuers, which I get to a certain extent. Like, yeah, is it harder than it sounds? Yeah, probably.
Absolutely, yeah.
But again, this is what first responders sign up for, to do risky things, and especially risky rescues. So it just seems like
to understand the type of rescues that will potentially be needed.
Yeah,
for
be
this
prepared for
park.
this circumstance.
Yeah,
it's hard to imagine. They never thought, well, what if somebody accidentally falls into the middle of the volcano? What are we going to do?
Yeah, and we only have 500 feet of rope. I mean, that seems like so ill prepared for this type of scenario. Kind of mind-bogglingly so.
Well, it just brings me back to, they must have just thought, well, someone falls in there, they're not going to live.
That's it, yeah.
So we're not even going to bother with that thing there. And again, what do I know about bringing a helicopter into the middle of a volcano? So it could be very, very dangerous, very difficult, kind of an impossible mission. But I don't know. I've seen crazy rescues before. So curious if anybody out there who flies helicopters would know. But I know weather's a big thing in rescues with helicopters, but upset with how the search and rescue mission was handled, her family later said in a social media post, Juliana suffered great negligence on the part of the rescue team. If the team had reached her within the estimated time of 7 hours, Juliana would still be alive. Juliana deserved much more. Now we're going to seek justice for her because that is what she deserves. Don't give up on Juliana. And many have warned that hikes like this are intense and not everyone is physically prepared for the journey. At some point along the trail to the peak, the hike becomes a climb. Many can experience blood pressure problems due to the intensity, causing some to faint in dangerous situations. Other tourists in the same hiking group as Juliana mentioned how difficult it was to reach the top. One man said it was really early before sunrise and bad visibility conditions with just a simple lantern to light up the terrain, which was difficult and slippery. Visitors also mentioned how there is a lack of safety measures during some sections of the trail. And experienced hikers have also scrutinized the guide who left Juliana, saying that an experienced hiker should have remained with her in case she couldn't make it on her own, which just seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It seems like a failing on the guide's part of like, maybe I should leave at least somebody with her just in case.
Yeah. What a bizarre, I mean, the buddy system, like growing up in Scouts,
Yeah.
buddy system is like the number one rule for everything.
For every like possible safety situation.
Yeah. Always.
You're always better off if you have somebody there with you.
Yeah. So I found it odd that he was like, no, I'm going to go up ahead and I'll wait for you. Just stay back with her. She's clearly struggling.
On the ledge of a cliff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes no sense. But the guide claimed that he did not leave her. He only went up the trail a bit and waited for her to catch up.
That is leaving her. Yes. What?
Yeah. Otherwise, if you went up the trail 5-10 feet, you didn't really leave her at that point. So you went far enough where you left her, didn't know what happened to her.
Yeah. And when he said earlier, he said he went 3 minutes up the trail. And I think that means just like he spent 3 minutes walking up the trail. So that's pretty far. You can get pretty far away from someone with 3 minutes.
Especially in the weather conditions.
Yeah, right.
Where you have no
You can't see
visibility.
anything. Yeah.
That makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Marcelo Grimani of the Institute of Technological Research in Brazil said this: from the moment we access a park, where the conditions of risk, terrain, and climate are known, we expect that both the guides, monitors, and the location have a plan to deal with an emergency situation.
Seems pretty like basic
Yeah,
to me,
right.
right?
Many have pointed out that despite the incredibly high elevations at the park, the search and rescue teams were only supplied with 500 feet of rope for the rescue mission.
Yeah.
So that's
Completely unprepared. Despite even like when you factor in weather conditions, fog, the terrain is loose soil, you know, we can all kind of understand that, but you didn't have the basic necessity for even reaching her anyway. Let's say even if the terrain was completely solid, the weather conditions were fine, the fog conditions were fine, you still couldn't reach her because you only brought 500 feet of rope. So, yeah, pretty brutal. And I know they had, even after this, they were struggling with like transferring her body to, you know, across the ocean. And there was a question of who would pay for it. And that was a whole mess. But yeah, what a tragic end to this whole thing.
And they did eventually evacuate her body from the volcano and brought her to the Bali Mandara Hospital the following day, where they did an autopsy.
Yeah. And
basically the autopsy said that she sadly died to internal bleeding caused by damage to organs and bone fractures, which were a result of blunt force trauma. The report added that she would have died less than 20 minutes after the bleeding started. It also ruled out hypothermia since there were no signs of tissue damage or blackening on her fingers. And the final results of the autopsy, which also included routine toxicology tests, I don't think have come back quite yet. But basically the doctor said that the injuries were consistent with the fall, with the worst seen on her back and limbs, which is, God. But it sounds like, after kind of looking at the drone footage and everything, that when she's seen, which is captured shortly after she had fallen down, showed her alive at the base of the cliff about 150 meters down. When she fell even further after that, that was the fall that caused her fatal injuries. Which just is like, God, she was, at the time they had that drone, she was still closer, at a rescuable state, and they just failed to get to her. And then she fell again, and that's ultimately
And then to send the family video footage of like, hey, we made it to her. What? That's so bizarre to me to do that.
Yeah, and they still stand by it that a helicopter wasn't possible in those conditions. So then have a backup plan, have rope,
Right.
enough rope to get down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very,
Well,
very
yeah.
tragic. I mean, young person who is not going to be able to live out, the long life that they had ahead of them because of some poor decisions made
Yeah.
by those that are there to supposedly protect you.
Yeah. So speaking of vacation, you typically end up spending a lot on vacation. It's nice to let go, let God a little bit, and just
Isn't that what vacation's all about?
blow your money, right? You blow your hard-earned money. But, you come back home, reality hits you a little bit, and you pull up Rocket Money just to see what the damage really was. And it's good. It keeps you in check. You're like, hey, you know what? I actually stayed within budget. That's all right. I blew some money. I had some fun. But that's why Rocket Money is such a good tool because, I don't know, I get caught up in maybe some spending eras of my life, and I'm not really paying attention exactly how much I'm spending. It's nice to just be able to look at Rocket Money and keeps me in check, keeps that self-discipline in check too. That's why I love Rocket Money so much.
Let it do it for you.
Yeah.
Let the app do all the hard work for you so you can spend more time doing what you want to do. Rocket Money gives you full transparency of all your financial accounts, but not only that, it really is the best personal finance app out there. And of course, it helps you find and cancel those pesky little subscriptions, that are literally everywhere. And it monitors your spending for you and helps even lower your bills so you can grow your savings, which is great. So it's everything. It's all in one.
Yeah, I love it. I actually canceled 2 subscriptions that I had forgotten I had, and I'm down.
Easy.
Yeah.
But really, it helps you get that total financial picture. And if you get the premium version, which we have, it really gives you some more tools that just kind of rounds it out. I mean, you get credit monitoring, which is really important.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you've got like a net worth tracker, which is kind of nice to really give you kind of put things into perspective. Because I think that's one thing, we always hear net worth, for all really, really, really rich people because it's advertised in the media. Right. But when you actually like put it all together for yourself personally, you're like, oh, I'm actually not doing too bad.
Yeah, it kind of gamifies your money a bit. Yeah, and I like to see the uptick, and then if I'm seeing a downtick, what happened?
Right. But you can like put all your accounts in there, whether it's credit, your credit card savings accounts to
your loans,
investment accounts, loans.
Yeah, it's all factored in. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is a great app. We highly recommend it. It'll even help negotiate lower bills for you. It'll scan your bills to see where they could potentially save you some money. And then they'll talk to customer service for you, try to negotiate a lower rate on, a utility bill or something, and they'll notify you. It's like having a little personal assistant.
Yeah.
A little financial assistant in your pocket. So many great reasons. There's 5 million members that have saved a ton of money on there, $500 million or something like that in canceled subscriptions. Absolutely crazy. On average, members save up to $740 a year when they use all the app's premium features. So what else do I have to say?
Yeah, cancel those unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Come on. Go to rocketmoney.com/lightsout today. That's rocketmoney.com/lightsout. rocketmoney.com/lightsout.
But moving on.
Yeah, it doesn't get much brighter.
No, this one is
Yeah, this is gnarly. Kind of back to, if you remember our amusement park disasters, this is in the same vein. But June 14th, 1986, it was a crisp, sunny day in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. The indoor amusement park Galaxyland was open in the West Edmonton Mall, and it was packed that day while people attended this concert that was going on. There were typical evening shoppers there and others very eager to get inside Galaxyland. This amusement park had 27 rides in total, 3 of which were roller coasters, and the most famous was the reportedly $6 million Mind Bender.
Which is this from the 80s?
Yeah.
Price in the 80s for this coaster.
Yeah, so whatever factor in the inflation rate.
Triple it.
Yeah. That's a pretty expensive roller coaster there. It had opened the previous year with bragging rights that it was get this, the world's largest indoor roller coaster, inside the world's largest indoor amusement park, inside what was once the world's largest shopping center.
Damn.
You would think somewhere in the U.S. would have those bragging rights, but no, it was up in Canada.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't even think of an indoor amusement park
No,
that's even remotely this big.
Right.
Other than like the Mall of America's got a roller coaster.
Oh,
in it.
yeah, that's right.
Not like this, though.
No, not at all.
Yeah, most of our parks are outside. I feel like. Yeah, I can't think of an indoor park.
Yeah, so shouts out Canada, except this would end in disaster. So this mind bender, it was a triple looper, 14 stories tall with top speeds of 60 miles an hour, and it really drew in the crowds. It was also billed as one of the world's safest rides.
Whenever anything claims to be safe, the safest.
Yeah. It's like the Titanic. It's unsinkable, right? It's like anytime we name it that, you kind of jinx it. And it's going to end up not great.
Run away from it.
Yeah. So obviously this would all be proven.
But just look at this fucking thing.
Isn't it crazy?
Holy shit.
Triple loop inside too. So
I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah,
I think we'd all go on this.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. So that evening, the ride had already been shut down twice. So there's another
shut down twice, but still reopened.
Right? Yeah.
Maybe there's an issue.
Right. The operator apparently heard a metallic sound coming from one of the 4 trains, but whatever. The ride soon reopened and 12 people got onto the ride, and it was basically 4 people per train car. The 4 people sat in the last train car, and the people sitting in there was 24-year-old Tony Mandrusiak, his fiancée, 21-year-old Cindy Sims, 24-year-old David Sager, and David's friend, 25-year-old Rodney Chaco. He didn't know it at the time, but unfortunately, Rodney would be the only one to leave that mindbender train car alive that day. He knew that his friend David, he was a bit of a thrill seeker who liked fast cars. He'd also just won an amateur striptease contest at the bar that night just before they went on this ride. And, now they were at Galaxyland looking for some more fun that night. But unfortunately, this would end in disaster because shortly into the ride, the train car derailed and hurled Tony and Cindy up to 100 feet in the air.
Oh my God.
Right?
So it must be on one of these loop-de-loops as they're going up into the loop.
Yep.
It just
came off the
detaches
track.
from the rails.
Yep.
100 feet in the air.
Yep.
God.
So Cindy was tragically thrown onto a ledge and was partially decapitated, reportedly. Tony died from the fall, and as for David, moments later, the train car stalled upside down during one of the loops. He then fell from the ride down to the mall floor, dying just after impact. Rodney was also thrown from the ride, but he survived. Rodney said, "I remember feeling it sway and grabbing onto the handle. The next thing, I was landing on the ground." This is brutal. Even though Rodney survived, he shattered his lower legs, crushed half of his left shoulder. It also broke both his feet, pelvis, lower back, and every single rib on his left side. Holy hell. At the hospital, doctors couldn't even count all the fractures in his legs.
Oh my God.
They considered having to amputate them, but instead they surgically inserted metal plates along his bones, hoping they would eventually heal. Rodney ended up spending 6 months in the hospital. He was eventually able to stand with the assistance of leg braces. And once he got out of the hospital, he immediately married his girlfriend, Joanne.
It's like, I'm going to take advantage of every second.
Life,
oh my God.
Life is too short, right? So over time, he was able to walk again without braces, and the doctors removed the metal plates from his legs. So he healed. He worked for 15 years before retiring because of chronic back pain. He struggled with substance issues with prescription painkillers, but eventually weaned off of them when he was 45. So, man, good for him. He continued to use marijuana to treat his chronic pain.
This isn't even mentioning his mental health, too.
Right. I can't imagine.
I mean, how do you even begin to process the trauma of this?
6 months in the hospital, You don't know if you're going to walk
Can't
again.
move.
Your friend just tragically died too.
Yeah, what a just horrible scene that
Yeah.
must have been. But as for the ride shut down for more than a year to undergo some safety modifications. A provincial inquiry blamed the crash on defunct West German company for design and manufacturing flaws. 4 bolts had gotten loose, allowing a wheel assembly to fall off the roller coaster car. And many were concerned because this same West German manufacturer had 100 similar rides operating around the world, most of them in Europe. As you can probably imagine, you hear about this, you're like, could this happen to every ride that's made by these guys?
Right. Yeah. And, West Germany, obviously that's like, it was USSR, it was communism, right? And there was a lot of manufacturing there, though. And just, I don't know, it's shoddy designs, sure, it doesn't surprise me, but this is a complete side tangent, but I was just at my grandma Mimi's. She just turned 95, and in her kitchen, she had this like ultra kitchen aid type mixer, but it did a million things. It could like cut cheese for you, cut meat. It could blend things.
Oh, wow.
It was this one machine, and we picked it up and looked at it. It was from West Germany.
Oh,
like
wow.
the 80s.
Damn.
And I was like, I kind of want this to put like in a glass case and hang on my wall or something.
Damn.
It's like an art piece.
It's an artifact.
I was like, I'm never going to use this thing because God knows what it'll chop my hand off or something. But yeah, West Germany.
Trying to do too much.
Yeah, they were manufacturing a lot of stuff, and for fairly cheap too. I think that's why they were fairly successful, and it was all over the world. You could find these parts.
But God, after modifications to fix the faulty manufacturing, the Mindbender reopened.
Yep.
In 1987, and it ran for several more decades without incident. That's crazy. So they must have been able to figure out exactly what went wrong and fix that issue. So much so that they felt confident, like, well, what's the chance of it happening again? And like, imagine the liability they open themselves up to if they don't get it right.
So I think they had to make it's just sad that they don't make these things foolproof before something like this has to happen.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's like, why wasn't this really
dummy
looked
test
into?
run?
Yeah, a million
over
times
and over again.
Yeah.
It seems like there's no matter which way you look, like you really test this out, there's no way to fully make sure this is safe unless people are riding it.
Yeah, and you have like very consistent maintenance schedules, and it's engineered very properly. I don't know, but it seems like they knew something was wrong. They shut the ride down twice that day. So maybe
if you start hearing a crazy sound, screws coming loose.
Yeah.
So an operator error potentially even.
Yeah. And a part of me is also thinking like, oh, it costs $6 million. It's like, no, we got to get our ROI. We can't shut this thing down. We got to keep it rolling so we can make our money back.
Yeah. It just seems like, is that worth it when you might have lawsuits if something goes, I don't know. I never get it with these amusement parks.
Right.
But they ended up removing one of the train cars and added an anti-rollback feature. Seatbelts and headrests were also added, and the lap bar restraints were kept from before. So
they didn't have seatbelts on this thing that was going upside down.
So there's the lap
3
bar,
times.
but
yeah,
if you're
also
upside down for a prolonged period of time, you're going to slip right out of that.
Right.
So yeah, just the lap belt thing, the lap bar or whatever. I'm always sketched out by that. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
I'm going upside down and that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
not a chance.
And that's why, a lot of modern coasters now, they have the things that you pull over.
Those are the most I feel comfortable.
Where your whole body
is locked
except
down.
for your legs are locked into the seat.
Yeah.
You feel a lot more secure than the especially a roller coaster that isn't harnessed like that you're sitting in.
Right. Yeah.
Going upside down with just a lap bar.
Right.
That seems wild to me.
No, yeah. And the ones that come over your head too, you know how it has like the ting, 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 so it kind of like locks in there. But I like the ones that you also buckle.
Yep. So even if that malfunctions, you got to
still. Yeah. I mean, you're going to be holding on for dear life, but you have a much better chance of surviving that.
Yeah. But just a lap bar, nothing to hold on to,
and a triple loop roller coaster.
Yeah. That doesn't seem very smart. But Rodney was interviewed in 2016 saying, quote, David, Tony, and Cindy are dead, and it changed my life forever. I think about it every day, because how could you not?
Right.
He received an undisclosed settlement from the mall after the accident, but he said, I'm famous, but I ain't rich. So
Which sounds like he also has a little bit of a sense of humor about it after all this.
The mall also gives him free tickets to mall attractions whenever he asks, and he's been back to the mall several times over the years with his children and even grandchildren. But while the Mindbender still operated, he definitely did not go back. So how could you?
Yeah.
But he didn't want to discourage others from getting on the ride. Several times he requested the mall to put a memorial bench near the Mindbender ride, which just seems like
the least you could do, really.
Absolute least you could do.
Yeah.
But instead, the staff offered to put a plaque on an office wall.
Yeah, what? So
hidden
just
away from the public. Yeah.
Give me a break.
Which obviously this is not a proper memorial. But here's a news interview of Rodney in 2016 around the 30th anniversary of this tragic accident.
It was an accident. I have no hatred or ill to West Edmonton Mall. They treated me very well.
Chaco, who still visits WEM every couple years, would like to see an acknowledgement of the tragedy right in Galaxyland.
I would like to have a plaque just to say, always in our hearts, David, Tony, and Cindy, just a bench for people to sit on and reflect on life.
We contacted West Edmonton Mall, and a spokesperson wrote that the mall respectfully declines comment on this story. Chaco says in the past, WEM has offered to put up a memorial plaque in its offices.
Where they work, where nobody goes.
Yeah.
And though he has ridden other, smaller roller coasters since,
my dad made me get on the kiddie one with my daughter.
Chaco says he has stayed off the Mindbender, and it appears for now, a more permanent reminder of the tragedy will have to remain etched in his mind.
But if you're wondering about the Mindbender today, well, it's no longer around because it finally shut down in July of 2021. In January 2023, it was announced that the ride would never reopen and the parts were sold off or scrapped. A proper memorial for the victims was never installed. It's just...
Yeah, come on.
It's just horrible. Despite the tragic horror in 1986, the Mindbender was remembered as West Edmonton Mall's main attraction for nearly 4 decades. And as they turned the roller coaster into a pile of scrap metal, a worker discovered a romantic note hidden in the construction. It was from a man named Stuart Houston, who was the former mayor of Spruce Grove and now city councilor in the Edmonton bedroom community. At the time of the note, he was an iron worker for 30 years and the structural maintenance supervisor at West Edmonton Mall. He even built some of the tracks for the Mindbender. His note said, Stu loves Deb, Kyle, and Cam. It was a short love note for his wife and his 2 sons, who were 3 and 5 at the time. Their daughter was born 2 years later, and decades later, the love note was uncovered, and it reminded the community how much the Mindbender meant to everyone. But it meant different things depending on who you asked, of course. So, yeah, it's just...
I feel like, I don't know. I know what you're saying. Like, it's hard to get to know how we can make these things foolproof, but I feel like we can and we have. Like, when I think of Cedar Point, there was a big controversy because like a piece of metal flew off the Top Thrill dragster and then they shut it down, scrapped it, and remade a new one. But like nobody died. It was just like a scary circumstance. But I think fatalities, it seems like we can limit fatalities.
Yeah.
I think there can be accidents or things going wrong with the ride. But it seems
to
like
the point where a ride is derailing and
killing
flying
people. Yeah, that seems like we can get ahead of that pretty easily.
Well, it seems like with this too, it was shut down twice.
Right.
So who gave the okay to reopen it that third time?
Right, yeah.
And, it's why maintenance is so important. And having somebody come check the ride every, hour or so to make sure, because it's running through over and over again with different weights, different people. There's so many factors that can play into it.
Yeah.
It's just wild. I'm like, this is like not a great example at all, but playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. Like if you ever played Roller Coaster Tycoon before.
Yeah. I used to love that game.
Your rides break down. You got to have your maintenance guy come by. And they come by and they check and fix the rides every hour or so. They're constantly checking on it.
Yeah. Get that scheduled maintenance.
Get the scheduled maintenance in.
Come on.
Because
I can do it in my computer simulator.
Right. It's not that hard in real life. It's like, especially at a giant mall amusement park like this.
Right.
I feel like Galaxyland would if there's anybody you're going to hire for your amusement park, you're going to make sure you have enough like engineers who know how to fucking work on these things.
Right.
You want to ensure the safety of your guests.
And knowing that the whole thing is the bragging rights, right? They want the world's largest roller coaster in the largest mall and the largest indoor blah, blah, blah. You would think that you would want that thing to be the safest goddamn
There's
thing
somebody
in the
there
whole
like
mall.
checking it every time it goes
Right,
and then
yeah.
shutting it down if it's not going.
Yeah.
Somebody made a very poor decision that day to allow that to reopen.
Yeah.
After hearing metallic sounds, whatever the hell
The
that
clanking. Yeah.
means. Yeah.
Come on.
Could have all been avoided.
Yeah. But moving on, something that, you wouldn't really expect. I came across this kind of ridiculous concept, but is somewhat real, but mostly fake. I don't know. We're going to dive into it. It's a death by coconut. So, you're hanging out at the beach. That's a common thing you do in a summer vacation, right? Everyone likes to go to the beach. You were just saying margaritas on the beach.
Yeah.
I love that. You love that.
Or a good fresh coconut.
Oh, yeah.
With
Put the straw in there.
Like a real pina colada.
Oh,
so good.
Yeah. Nice. And, often people travel to tropical beaches, to tropical island beaches to just relax by the ocean. But along these beaches, you see the iconic coconut trees. They can stand nearly 100 feet tall when fully grown, but look out because these beautiful trees might actually be lethal. Legend has it that coconuts kill 150 people per year by falling
150
from trees. Yeah, and cracking people's skulls.
This sounds a little suspicious to me.
So the paranoia began in 1984 from an article by Dr. Peter Bars in the Journal of Trauma titled Injuries Due to Falling Coconuts. He warned that a coconut falling from a tree about 100 feet up could have a velocity of about 50 miles per hour on impact. Yeah, it's pretty fast. And I mean, if you've ever held a coconut, those suckers are kind of hard and heavy, right?
Yeah, they are. They're, what's the average weight of them?
Yeah.
I guess it varies, obviously.
Yeah, by the size and everything.
Not cost. Don't give me cost.
About 1.5 to 2 pounds.
1.5 to 2 pounds.
Falling 100
going
feet.
50 miles per hour.
Yeah.
That's 50 miles an hour, dude. Right. Come on.
Right. According to
There's
him.
no way.
According
I guess
to
from
him.
100-foot coconut tree. Where are there 100-foot coconut trees in the world, though?
They say that's more on the tall end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like
They
one
do
in-
exist, but that is like about as tall as they get. Over 4 years, his hospital saw 5 coconut-related deaths. So personally, he was seeing this happen. But after this study, rumors began circulating that coconuts killed more people than sharks.
What?
About 150 a year. And you know what? It turned out not really a shock.
I pulled it out of his ass.
Yeah, this number was pulled completely out of thin air. And the doctor didn't even say this. It just started like a rumor mill, and people started believing that over 150 people were being killed by coconuts. But really, about 5 to 10 people die from shark attacks every year. Only about 1 or 2 people die from coconuts, if that. But it's still happening.
Damn,
That's
dude.
kind of crazy that, okay, it's not 150, but it is just a possibility.
Taken out by a coconut.
Yeah. God.
What are the chances of the probabilities got to be insane.
You're in 1 to billions.
Better chance of like being struck by lightning.
Right. Yeah. So I bet there is probably a better chance of being struck by lightning. Regardless, Club Travel, a UK-based travel insurance company, tried to spread the urban legend. Why? Well, it might be pretty obvious. To get more people to buy travel insurance. And
Because of coconuts falling out?
Yeah.
What?
Get people paranoid, get people scared, you sell insurance. And their release stated that coconuts were, quote, 10 times more dangerous than sharks.
You need our insurance to cover your hospital stay should a 1-pound coconut fall on your head.
At 50 miles an hour. Despite the claim being completely bogus, this misconception has actually continued for years. And it has been reported on by several big publications, including the New York Times, the Daily Telegraph, and the Boston Herald. In March 2003, the Morning Call in Pennsylvania reported, quote, you are 30 times more likely to be killed by a falling coconut than by a shark.
Yeah. These are all very reputable news sources, by the way.
Yeah. The paranoia got to the point where the Indian government removed coconuts from the trees at Mumbai's Gandhi Museum, quote, for a fear that a nut would descend onto the head of President Obama.
Get the fuck out of here. What?
Isn't this insane? He had recently visited the city, so they went up there. They sent workers to remove all the coconuts from their trees.
I'm sure the Secret Service has a plan for that.
Yeah. Oh, my God. So, and in that, they even cited Barr's old study for their fears. And while coconut deaths are incredibly rare, they still happen. The earliest recorded death by a coconut was when a king of the Cook Islands had a concubine die after a coconut fell on her head in 1777. I kind of struggled finding the source of this, so take that with a grain of salt, but reportedly that's the earliest documented death by coconut. Several more documented deaths from falling coconuts have occurred in the years since, but more recently in 2012, a vacationer became a victim of a falling coconut. A 69-year-old French woman was enjoying her time in the French Polynesia, which, if you've ever seen pictures of that place.
Oh, yeah. Stunning.
Beautiful, beautiful. And unfortunately, a coconut actually fell and hit her on the head. She had been hiking on the beautiful island of Nuku Hiva when she was knocked unconscious. She was then actually flown to a Tahiti hospital where she later died from her injuries. So very sad that something like that can happen. I mean, coconut trees, very innocuous things.
Yeah.
When you're just vacationing in the tropics. You wouldn't really think about it that much.
I'm trying to think. This could just be like complete BS. But I could have sworn when I was last in Mexico at the resort, that they would go and remove the coconuts out of the trees.
I believe it.
And maybe it wasn't just because they're going to serve them up as drinks, but rather they're worried about them falling.
I believe it.
The hotel does it as a precaution.
I think so. And it probably also just to ease people's minds. If you're paranoid and you've maybe heard these.
Who knows this, Austin? Let's be honest.
It was apparently a big enough problem
crazy.
that the Indian government was removing coconuts because the president was coming. So I think maybe it's I had never really heard of this, but there are like signs. What was it in Korea or something?
Yeah.
Beware falling
coconuts like people running.
Right.
Because
So
I
guess it's a
assume
thing.
that when these coconuts get ready, really ripe, they get heavy, and then some wind jostles the tree that they just kind of drop. But 50 miles an hour, I'm still skeptical of that. That's some velocity.
We might have to get Mythbusters out here.
Yeah, let's get this myth busted, man. 100-foot coconut tree.
Yeah.
Which coconut trees are native to Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific Islands mostly.
Yeah.
But of course, they're planted
all over
the place. So
yeah.
So just one more thing to worry about while you're on your beach vacation.
Yeah, but luckily, remember, it's only one, maybe two people a year. So
I was doing some not quick math, but I was doing some math, and a 1 kilogram coconut can reach 53 miles per hour if it falls from over 34 meters, which is about a little over 100 feet. So the math is pretty accurate.
Damn.
So they are lethal, but it's just so uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
So
but the
uncommon.
chances that you happen to walk under a 100-foot coconut tree where a coconut falls at that speed and just cracks your skull.
Exactly.
Damn.
I mean, look out, man.
Well,
you never know.
One more thing to be scared of, I guess.
Yeah.
Lethal coconuts. But really, the one thing that most of us, I'd say, are fearful of when we go to the beach, we go swimming in the ocean, is sharks, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's stories like this that don't help that fear whatsoever.
No, this is worst case scenario.
This is definitely worst case scenario. But on January 12th, 2010, a Zimbabwean vacationer, 37-year-old engineer Lloyd Skinner, was out swimming at Fishhook Beach off the coast of South Africa near Cape Town. And if you've ever watched Shark Week, they do a lot of filming off Cape Town because this is a great white mecca. This is like the place that great whites hang out.
Mm-hmm.
I know this because I have a shark tracker app.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that cool.
Tracks all the great whites.
Sweet, that's
that are
awesome.
tagged at least.
Out of fear or out of fascination?
Originally out of fear, I won't lie. On a trip to Florida, I saw that there was a great white in the area.
Yeah.
But now it's just out of fascination. My fear has gone down a little bit, although it might go back up after this story. But these are majestic apex predators.
Yeah,
There's something
awesome.
that's so fascinating about them, but terrifying at the same time.
Yeah.
But anyways, Lloyd, he had been on vacation with his girlfriend, Deborah Payne, and joined the beach together, and they were in town to attend Deborah's daughter's wedding. And that day, Lloyd took a swim around 300 feet offshore. That's pretty far out there.
Yeah.
It's a little bit farther than I think.
I think in any ocean I've ever been in, I think maybe 150 feet is maybe the farthest I've ever gone, because that's when I start to get a little paranoid.
Yeah. And you don't got to go even that far.
No, yeah.
Sharks are 10 feet.
They'll come up, yeah.
If they
can swim, if they can fit, they'll go.
Yeah. So Lloyd's out there swimming 300 feet offshore, and it was a busy day with about 10 to 15 other swimmers out in the water. And just after 1:30 p.m., Lloyd was a bit further out there than most of the other people in the water. But again, the water was only about 4.5 feet deep.
Yeah, that's kind of deceiving.
It is. You're like, not that deep.
Yeah. It's in, and it looks like it's kind of like a bay-ish area, kind of comes in. So really shallow, warm.
Yeah. And like, if you know anything about great whites, a lot of people tell you that they like deeper water. They hunt in deeper water, so they're not really like just perusing the shallow waters as much. Other sharks will, for sure.
Yeah.
But great whites, which are native to this area, not so much. But Cape Town's disaster management services had issued a warning hours earlier that sharks had been spotted in the water, but the shark warning flag was not flying.
That seems, what's going on there then?
Another person who dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Lloyd stood up about chest deep to adjust his swimming goggles when witnesses saw a shadow approaching him from out deeper in the ocean. It backed off at first, and people on the shore were waving their towels as a warning, but some of the swimmers thought they were joking or just waving hello to someone. Then the shark circled back around and charged at Lloyd. Its fin broke the surface of the water moments before the giant shadow reached Lloyd, and he threw his arms up and disappeared after a violent thrashing. Only a dark pool of blood and his goggles remained in the water where he'd been standing, and for only a moment, Lloyd resurfaced in a different part of the ocean, but it was quickly dragged back into the water. Witness Greg Coppin said that the shark that attacked Lloyd was longer than a minibus.
Holy hell.
He said, holy shit, that shark was huge, like dinosaur huge. Some witnesses said it was longer than 16 feet.
Crazy.
So a massive, massive shark. At first, Greg couldn't tell that the giant creature was going after a human. He said, then it sort of came out of the water and took this colorful lump and went off with it. You could see its whole jaw wrap around the thing, which turned out to be Lloyd. Witnesses then saw the shark swim back through the same area where it grabbed Lloyd, and one woman, Phyllis McCartane, saw Lloyd between the shark's jaws. His arm was stuck up in the air with his blood trailing behind the massive creature. Others watched as Lloyd's severed legs surfaced near where they had been swimming.
Ugh.
I mean, just, terrifying.
Yeah.
Once word of the attack reached the authorities, 4 rescue boats and a helicopter searched for any trace of Lloyd, but never found him. Ian Klopper, a spokesman for the National Sea Rescue Institute, said this: "You can rule out any chance of finding him alive. Whether we find body parts, it's very unlikely. We think the shark took everything." Several people had called in reporting body parts floating in the water. After the attack, many were baffled at how large the shark was that attacked him. According to a shark scientist, Alison Koch, she believed it was probably a great white, which is most commonly seen in this area. Great whites can typically grow up to 20 feet long, but the longest one ever recorded was 37 feet long.
Dude.
37 feet.
What?
Large females can also weigh up to 4,200 pounds. Massive, massive.
Dude, that's like
animals.
bigger than this room.
Yeah,
Really. You couldn't
yeah.
even fit this thing in
no.
here.
It's believed that the shark was initially hoping to feed off the large schools of fish not far offshore, but it had come from the dark, deep ocean, so it wasn't immediately spotted. There had been increased shark sightings in the weeks before the attack, and authorities warned swimmers to stay in shallow water, not to swim alone, and to have someone watch them while they swam. And again, Lloyd maybe wouldn't have even gotten in the water had that flag been flying.
Yeah.
let alone go out as far as he did.
Yeah. I mean, when I was in Mexico, the flags were spotted it was like every 100, 150 feet all along the beach. There were those warning flags, and each different color would represent something else. But yeah, it seems like a pretty easy thing to do to warn people. But Alison Koch also explained that more than 70% of great white attacks on humans result in a shark biting, but then leaving. Many can survive a great white attack, but as for the other 30%, the great white will kill its target. 6 years before Lloyd Skinner lost his life, another shark attack actually claimed a victim in the same exact swimming area. It's believed that this was the first fatal attack in the area in more than a century, which is kind of hard to believe, but I guess that's what they report. And shark spotters, after this fatal attack, shark spotters were then posted on nearby mountain slopes to watch for sharks near the popular swimming areas. If a shark was spotted, the spotters then can radio to order a loud alarm that would go off that would alert people to move to safety. It's unclear if spotters were on duty at the time of the attack in 2010. But after this attack, officials considered adding an electronic detection system with sonar buoys that could detect sharks and transmit a warning signal. But some believe that this tech is impractical, and the city added several more warnings and safety signs in the area, along with detailed recommendations on what to do for swimmers to stay safe. Apparently, a lifeguard, Fred, had seen the shark before the attack and ran down from his tower yelling, shark, shark, but unfortunately it was already too late. Lloyd's girlfriend, Deborah, later came up to Fred to ask what happened while she was looking for her husband. The lifeguard then showed her Lloyd's shorts, shirt, flip-flops, and other gear that they had recovered out there, and Deborah began to shake when she realized exactly what had happened. And reportedly, several witnesses had to receive counseling after witnessing this attack. But yeah, it's just brutal. You never really think it can happen to you too. I think I know personally, I go in with a little bit of doubt. I'm like scared, and I know that they're out there. That's why I get a little worry, but I don't actively anticipate a shark coming up to me. It's more just I try to put it into the back of my mind once I go out there. I'm well aware that they're out there, but I kind of think like, it's not really gonna happen to me. But I guess, yeah, you gotta keep your wits about you. And unfortunately, the shark flag wasn't flying either. So,
well, and like I tell myself, I'm like, even if I'm bit, I'm gonna survive. Like the majority of shark attacks are, people live.
Yeah,
this
70%.
is like a very one-off situation where somebody's eaten completely by a shark.
Yeah, worst
and
case
again,
scenario.
In prime great white territory for sure. So I'd probably just stay out of the water altogether in this area.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of their food sources are around there, lots of seals and things like that, a lot of their natural food, so they get confused. But if you are really, I've done a lot of research because I did have a big shark fear for a long time, but there's a great company called Shark Bands. It's sharkbanz.com, not sponsored by the way. But they're the top rated shark deterrent technology out there, which is pretty cool. They're pretty affordable, and it's basically a wearable band that has a really strong magnet in it, because it disrupts sharks and rays electroreception. If they come near you, it affects their electroreception capabilities, and it kind of pushes them off.
Have you ever seen that, like with cameras, when sharks get really close to cameras, their eyes kind of roll up because they sense that signal.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, this is proven technology.
That's cool.
So if you're really worried about it, want to be extra safe, a lot of surfers will buy it because obviously they're going out farther. You put it on you can wear it on your foot.
Cool.
And they say it's proven technology. They have a lot of videos showing it out in like the Bahamas with like shit ton of sharks, and
sweet.
Watching sharks go up to it and then go away from it.
How much do one of those suckers cost?
So they have a bunch of different ones. The Shark Bands 2 is only $138.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome that they made this affordable.
Danny might be good. Next video,
there you go.
I'll get one.
I am terrified of sharks.
I know you are. You don't like open ocean at all.
I am. No, God, I don't.
If you had one of these, would that ease your mind?
It would ease my mind a little bit, but then there's always that fear I mean, even as a kid, I was afraid there was a great white in the pool. Like I was that.
Damn.
And I actually have a fun fact about sharks. It's not related about great whites, but it's about bull sharks. And it solidified my fear as a child.
Yeah.
There have been records of bull sharks being spotted as far inland as Illinois from the Mississippi.
How's that even?
Because they can swim in
survive in fresh
brackish
water.
waters. Yeah. They'll come into the inlets to like give birth and stuff.
Cool.
So every now and then one will make its way and get trapped, even like the Great Lakes sometimes.
You said Illinois?
Yeah.
Yes, the most notable instance was cited in Alton, Illinois, which is roughly 700 miles from the ocean.
That's crazy. Wow.
So even in freshwater.
Even in freshwater.
Sweet.
Unless it's a landlocked lake,
Yeah.
you could encounter shark.
That's nuts.
I mean, obviously, the more north they're going to get, they're going to freeze, and they're not going to be able to survive. Like, there's no sharks in the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Right?
I think they've seen one up there before, haven't they?
I think they have like, I don't know. You might have to look that up. I don't want to talk out of my ass. I'm not sure about that.
No, I'm talking out of my ass. There's not been one in the Great Lakes.
Okay, good.
I'll swim in the Great Lakes.
I love the Great Lakes. I mean, that's where I'm from. So, but man, we need to just rename our podcast Paranoia Podcast. Because if you were to tell me that a shark was in the Great Lakes, I would have gotten really bummed out.
It's a rumor that's out there. There's some people who've claimed they've seen sharks in the Great Lakes.
Okay, gotcha.
See, now my question is, if you put a shark in the like a bull shark in the Great Lakes, how long could it survive?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious.
I don't have the
Let's not do that.
Let's not do that at all. Like, talk about invasive species.
Right. But moving on from that, what's even more common on vacation than getting killed by a coconut or a shark? Josh, do you know?
What is it?
It's falling off a cruise ship. Reportedly, 218 people fell off cruise ships between 2009 and 2019. Only 48 of those people were saved. That's about a 22% survival rate. Almost 400 people have fallen off cruise ships since 2000. Unfortunately, the majority of those who fall off cruise ships are never seen again, but a few are lucky enough to survive, much like Sarah Kirby, who fell off a cruise ship at night. Her story is very wild. She had been drinking while celebrating her 30th birthday in October 2013. She was in the Caribbean aboard the Destiny, one of Carnival's luxury cruise ships. Of course, it's a Carnival cruise ship. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the Poop Cruise, the Carnival cruise ship. That night,
it's always Carnival.
It's always Carnival, man. That night, she was celebrating with her friends on the first night of her voyage, and she had drunk several Long Island iced teas, and she claimed the bartenders encouraged her to buy more drinks by offering coupons to the ship's casino. She then went out to the stateroom's balcony alone. Around midnight, she then leaned back to look out at the ship before losing her balance. And she dropped 2 stories before hitting a lifeboat on the way down and then crashed into the water.
A little ping pong action.
Yeah. Her friend Rebecca was in the cabin's bathroom and didn't see Sarah fall, but she quickly put together what had happened after she couldn't find her. Panicking, she then found the captain and begged him to turn the boat around. At first, he did not want to veer off course because they weren't really sure that Sarah had fallen off the boat since no one saw her fall. The captain knew that most missing people on cruise ships were eventually found on board, but luckily he was eventually convinced to turn the whole ship around. And here's the news report of what had happened, and we'll get to see Sarah in this as well.
In 2012, she slipped over her stateroom balcony.
I felt hopeless. Helpless and hopeless. It's pitch black out there. There's no land. There's no lights.
Infrared cameras captured her fall. She actually ricocheted off a lifeboat before hitting the choppy waters off the coast of Jamaica. Sarah was badly battered, but somehow managed to tread water for 90 minutes before she was rescued.
I kept praying to God, please don't let me die out here. Please don't let something eat me like a shark.
Is that your guys' worst nightmare?
Falling off a cruise ship in the middle of the night? I mean, that sounds
treading
like
water and just open ocean in the dark.
Shark-infested water.
Yep. That is my worst nightmare. Right there.
How would you keep yourself calm?
Oh, I wouldn't.
I mean, I get why people start praying to God immediately.
Right.
I think we all would be like, there's anything.
I don't think she was calm either. I don't think it's possible to be calm.
No, especially after the damage she took too. I would be freaking out as well.
You can barely see it out of your eyes because they're all swollen.
Right. But Sarah was sobbing when they rescued her, and she was very thankful that they didn't leave her behind. But she ended up suing the cruise line, alleging that Carnival, quote, abandoned her in the middle of the ocean for an unreasonable amount of time. Sarah also claimed Carnival refused to airlift her to a hospital, and as a result, 16 hours went by before she got proper medical care. That is kind of ridiculous. In a statement, Carnival said, "We conducted a successful search and rescue of Miss Kirby and saved her life." In court papers, Carnival denied Sarah's allegations and said they acted properly at all times.
Debatable,
man. It sounds like it was actually really tough to get the captain to turn the boat around. They were just like crying and begging him, like, please, I know she fell off. And he's like, well, you didn't see it, so she'll be on board. We'll find her. And they were like, please, we have to turn this around. So luckily he did, because I think this could have been a different story if they didn't convince the captain to turn it around.
You'd think there'd be sensors, safety, some type of like detectors, like, and like, I don't know.
Yeah, like,
lasers,
130 pounds of something just fell off the side detection system. Yeah.
Or like even motion, like these cameras that AI cameras that can actually see. I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe it wasn't a thing, but
I mean, if they have the infrared cameras out there, why not just be like, detected movement?
Captain's alerted on his phone.
Yeah.
Man overboard.
Yeah, man overboard.
Stop
like,
the ship.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty well. Well, if you think
this was 2013,
true,
so maybe the tech wasn't there.
But if you think Sarah's story is crazy, this next story is honestly wild.
I love this story.
It's great though. Yeah. 28-year-old James Michael Grimes' story from 2022 is stuff of legends, really. James Michael had gone with 18 of his family members on Carnival. It's always Carnival Valor in the Gulf of Mexico. And James Michael's last memory on Thanksgiving Eve was winning a free drink during an air guitar competition.
So sick.
Let's hear from the man himself talking about his last few moments while on board the ship.
And we'll get to see some of that air guitar competition as well.
We were just hanging out, having a good time, watching some live music. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Did you have a few drinks?
I had during the day, and I'd actually did like an air guitar solo, and there was a competition they were doing, and I'd won it, so I'd won a free drink, so I had that.
But you hadn't had you weren't like inebriated, had like a ton of drinks.
No, ma'am.
How many drinks do you think you'd had?
I couldn't really say.
Lovable guy too, by the way.
I love this.
Sounds
guy,
like he's
man.
from Louisiana too.
Yeah.
But the next thing he knew, he came to, but he was overboard in the water with no ship in sight.
Dude, can you imagine?
So,
oh my God.
You come to, he's clearly had some drinks. You're in the water. Nothing is around.
Nothing.
How confused would you be?
Dude. Oh my God.
And he has no memory of it. But apparently around 11 p.m., he had told his sister he was going to the bathroom, and he did not know how he ended up in the water. This is fucking insane, though. This guy treaded water for the next 18 to 20 hours straight.
I don't know how that's even possible.
Damn.
I mean, I can tread water for quite a long time. I've timed myself and I can go, 30 minutes. I think I've even surpassed 30 minutes just for, we had to do something for like this survival thing in Scouts. I can tread water for quite a long time. 18 to 20 hours, right? Like
a whole day.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever done one singular thing for 18 to 20 hours in my life.
Yeah. No. Middle of the ocean, no boat in sight, just treading water.
Crazy.
But his daughter, 9-year-old Annabeth, gave him the motivation to survive.
Yep.
And he sang songs to himself to pass the time.
I love this guy so much. I love this guy.
He's like, all right, guess it's all you can do.
Summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Meanwhile, his family alerted the crew the next day when they realized that James Michael hadn't returned to his cabin. By then, it was about 2:30 p.m., more than 12 hours since he was last seen. When the Coast Guard was finally informed, they realized there was potentially 7,000 miles of ocean. They'd have to search for him since so much time had passed.
They were like, we have no idea where this guy could be.
This guy's lost. He's probably gone.
You haven't seen him for 12 hours. We've already crossed a huge chunk of the ocean. We have no idea.
God. So if that's not crazy enough, he's also treading water in an area known for being a feeding ground for sharks.
Mm-hmm.
He also had to fight rip currents, and he had been stung by jellyfish all over his arms and legs. You're just out there treading. You're going to float through some shit you don't want to be in.
Right.
So let's hear some more from the man himself, because it's just, this guy's iconic, honestly.
I love this guy.
I thought it was a shark. I mean, I was swimming in one direction, and I looked around, and I seen it out the corner of my eye. And it came up on me really quick. I went under, and I could see it. And it wasn't a shark, I don't believe. But it had more like a flat mouth. And it came up and bumped one of my legs, and I kicked it with the other leg. It scared me, not knowing what it was, or at the time, how big it was. All I could see was a fin.
The avid outdoorsman tried to...
Probably a hammerhead shark.
Yeah, right.
Exhausted and hungry, he ate what he could find to maintain his energy.
A stick come floating by.
Oh,
Looked like bamboo. So I started eating on it. And it actually, I mean, I'm not going to say it tasted good, but it gave some type of flavor in my mouth other than salt water.
Was there any point while you were out there where you thought, I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this?
When it started getting back towards nighttime again, the water started getting colder. At that time, I thought, how much longer am I going to have to be out here?
Yeah. But you just kept swimming?
Yes, ma'am. The fall didn't kill me. Sea creatures didn't eat me. I felt like I was meant to get out of there.
He has seen, so through sunrise to now through sunset, he's just been in the water.
It's like, well, don't know how I'll make it through this next night, but
so nuts.
Damn, this stick is good.
Yeah.
I get that, though. That'd be just horrible, though. The amount of salt in your mouth.
Right, yeah.
In the seawater you've probably swallowed just being out there and like getting hit with water. So while he's treading water for almost a day, he finally spots glowing lights from a tanker ship. And then he begins swimming toward it using all the remaining energy that he had. The Coast Guard then showed up, circling the boat several times before spotting James Michael. Then they went down to the water to retrieve him, and it was about 8 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day. This story just gets even better, too. This part's really funny.
Yeah.
So let's hear it from him again.
I'd done taken off my socks and everything and was just waving them around my head, trying to do something where they would see me. And when that light finally hit me, somehow I heard, "We got him." And I seen a guy coming down from that helicopter, and it was coming towards me. Right then I thought, man, I see the light.
When the Coast Guard guy showed up in the water, what'd you say to him?
Well, the first thing I actually told him was, I don't have any clothes on. Because I didn't. I'd been stripped out of everything. He said, that's fine. All right. And I was just like, okay. And he told me to hold on to this life vessel, and I was just thinking, thank you. You're like a guardian angel coming down for me.
His rescuers believe he was seconds away from not making it.
I swam to it as fast as I could. As I got to him, I shoved the rescue sling under his arms. He collapsed into it. He had nothing left.
James Michael says the whole experience has given him new purpose.
These were actually the pants that I'd planned on wearing on the cruise, but never got to. And I put them on this morning, and I reached in the pocket, and there was something, there's a fortune, and it says, "Life's a beach, enjoy the waves."
Do you think it changed you?
Yes, definitely. It opened my eyes. I take things for granted, I reckon, or a lot of people do.
Do you think you'll go on a cruise ship again?
Yeah, I will.
Really?
Yeah. I ain't gonna let it discourage me that much. I might not get within 10 foot of the rails, but I'll definitely be open to going on another cruise, because I really didn't get to go on this one.
Dude, it's so good.
What a legend,
dude!
man.
I love this guy so much.
Wish we all could just live our lives with
like
such
this guy. Yeah.
Not a care in the world.
Dude, these are the pants I would have worn.
Pulls out a fortune cookie.
So good.
It's a beach. Enjoy the wave.
Yeah.
I love it, man. It's so perfect.
Oh man, he's so lucky though.
Yeah, he really is.
He would not have made it much longer. He would have.
Oh yeah, and how that guy,
the diver,
Coast Guard, like described him just falling into the sling. Yeah, and that was it. It's so wild to me. And then it's so perfect. Thanksgiving Day of all days, right? It's like what you're thankful for. And this guy's getting pulled out of the water after 20 hours.
Kicking off sharks, getting stung by jellyfish.
Yeah.
Eating sticks floating by.
Right. Insanity.
Wow. Well, Carnival Valor had said in a statement that it conducted a search and rescue operation after James Michael went missing. They assisted the Coast Guard for some time before the ship was released to continue its journey to Cozumel, Mexico. The Coast Guard said, cruise ships have safety barriers in all public areas that are regulated by U.S. Coast Guard standards that prevent a guest from falling off. Guests should never, ever climb up on the rails. The only way to go overboard is to purposely climb up and over the safety barriers. So my man,
yeah, you know what happened.
He was like, "Oh, what's this?" Whoop. Damn. What's crazy though is that this was like 2 weeks ago when you were telling me about this story. We're going to cover this. There happened to be another story happening in the news.
No way.
Yeah,
that's similar to this.
Not as crazy. This is unbeatable.
Yeah.
But it was a Disney cruise.
Oh, whoa.
2 weeks ago, on a Disney cruise, a 5-year-old girl fell from a porthole on Disney Dreams Deck 4. According to a new report from the Broward Sheriff's Office, the child had been climbing on a railing on the ship's fourth deck on June 29th when she lost her balance and fell backward through a porthole into the ocean.
Whoa.
So it's a porthole above railing. So she climbed the railing and there's just like a porthole that's open, had no glass, and she went through that.
Damn.
Her father, who hadn't seen the fall, jumped into the water moments later after her mother sounded the alarm.
Holy hell.
Yeah, so mom's screaming. 5-year-old daughter couldn't swim either, which is terrifying.
Man.
So her dad, who's 37, leapt overboard and treaded water with his daughter for about 20 minutes before they were both rescued by Disney Dreams onboard team. Disney has got the safety shit down. They put a safety boat in the water. In 20 minutes, they had them back on board.
Damn. I think it also helped that there was a witness to this one, because I think in our stories, nobody actually saw them go over, so that was a part of the problem. I also, just backtracking a little bit, so they didn't know he was gone for 12 hours, right? It's like they're probably the rest of the family. He went there with like 18 family members.
Yeah, well, what? I'm assuming his wife's there with him. Like nobody was like, Daddy never came home.
Like what?
Where's Dad?
Is he just like, he's trashed again?
Dad's passed out on the bar floor on the cruise ship.
Yes.
Like what? Yeah, it's crazy that for 12 hours nobody's like.
It's like, Uncle James Michael. He's just.
He kind of seems like the guy in the family. Everybody's like, yeah,
right. That was killing me.
Not beyond comprehension that he would not come home last night.
Oh, man.
They're all at breakfast in the next morning. They're like, really? Wait.
Oh, is he? He's probably just hungover or something. Yeah. Oh, man. That's so funny.
But 18 to 20 hours, though.
18 to 20, man. And like, that's the thing about the Disney Cruise Line is, wow, imagine the dad too. That's so bad.
Oh yeah,
just
dude.
Like, she can't
I would have
swim.
done the same thing,
right?
My daughter
That's
went.
What I would think, right? Immediately
going in,
no questions asked, right?
Especially if I knew my kid couldn't swim.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not hesitating at all. Yeah, you don't want your kid to drown.
Absolutely, right? And that's also a little bit of that Disney magic too. You know, they always like. Say what you will about Disney. I'm not, whatever, a fan of that corporation, but they do often go above and beyond in moments like that, It's like the fact that they had the boat in the water to go rescue.
Well, not only that, the ship's emergency team immediately triggered a Mr. MOB, or a man overboard alert, which ordered the vessel to halt, circle back, alert the Coast Guard, and deploy rescue boats.
Damn, yeah. The full gamut.
Wow. Disney's on it.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, you're here on Carnival. Please stop the ship, Captain.
We'll find them. They're just drunk.
They're drunk on board. Yeah, it seems like there's a stark difference between the two cruise lines. You get what you pay for, people.
Right.
The $500 Carnival cruise or the $3,000 Disney cruise.
Right,
You go overboard. One,
oh my God.
you're going to be treading water for a while. The other one, they'll come get you immediately.
Man.
Yeah, wow.
We could have had, if I didn't know any better, we could have just had a whole Carnival Cruise episode of just the mishaps that go on Carnival Cruises, because it's out of control, man.
Well, it's just like, it's wild to me that they even serve alcohol at all. Like, they don't let you do other drugs on board. You can't bring your weed on board. But, hey, get that drink pass.
Yeah. We need to revoke all the liquor licenses for all the Carnival Cruises out there.
Seriously, though, it's like, God, if you're going to do it, then at least have the safety precautions.
Right,
you know?
yeah, honestly.
Yeah, the chances of this are very, very slim. Man overboard incidents don't happen that often.
Yeah. And I mean, like when they do, it's like the survival rate is so small. So
wow, but this is kind of wild. 1 to 2 people go overboard each month.
Yeah.
Out of roughly 2.5 million who cruise during the same time frame.
2.5 million. Wow.
That's actually kind of shocking.
That's not bad.
But
that's not bad.
Just don't go overboard on a Carnival
Don't
cruise.
climb it. Don't climb it. Oh man. See, a kid I could kind of understand. Okay, you're 6. You see a fun thing.
Yeah,
to
kids
climb.
like to climb shit.
Right, I understand. A grown adult, do not ever climb the cruise line railing ever for any reason. Just don't do it.
I would love to know what James's path he walked that night.
Oh my God.
Like, did he go from the bar directly to the side of the boat?
I'd like to
how
imagine,
did that
you know,
unfold?
he had the little like blow up guitar, like the air,
Yeah,
quote unquote, air guitar. I hope he held that over the edge. He's just diving.
He's like, guys, watch this.
As a flotation device.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's nice to end this one on a brighter note.
It's crazy to think that people, like, you would think falling off a cruise ship would be like deadly in itself. And I know there's people who, depending on how high on the boat, because if you fall from a high enough point, hitting the water is like hitting concrete.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're not gonna live through that.
Right.
And also then them just finding you. Especially
that too.
What are the chances, man?
He got really lucky. He got really lucky.
Super lucky.
And I love that it was like, I also think like to tread water in the ocean for that long too, I think is a feat in and of itself. And I do, it's heartwarming to think he's like, I was just thinking about my daughter. And that was really
motivation to keep him going. Be careful on vacation.
Yeah, man.
Careful everywhere.
This is,
Whether you're on the beach sipping Mai Tais under a coconut tree to taking a little swim off the beach.
Oh, yeah.
To even just hiking. Like, it's just, anything can happen at any point in time.
That's true.
Can ever let your guard down. Yeah. Truly.
But for our listeners, go on vacation. You're going to be fine. Everything is going to be all right.
Don't let us deter you.
Yeah.
Apparently don't go on vacation to tropical areas.
Yes. Common thread here.
Oh, we'll do a winter vacation episode.
Yeah.
For all those vacation destinations in the winter. There's probably stories of people freezing to death. Oh, yeah. Getting eaten by a Kodiak grizzly bear in Alaska.
Sure.
Getting lost in the Montana wilderness in the middle of winter.
Oh, that doesn't sound fun.
But enjoy this summer while it lasts. We only have about a month left, it feels like.
Yeah.
The warm summer months. Go enjoy. Don't be scared.
Yeah, go soak it up.
While you can. Live each day like it's your last,
because it might be.
You never know. But that's going to be it for us today. Let us know which story was most shocking to you. Which one were you most surprised about? Because definitely covered a few that I don't think most of us would ever even think about.
Yeah, and if you've had your own vacation mishaps, I want to hear about it.
No matter how big, no matter how small. If you can't top our man James, then don't post it.
I don't think anyone can top our guy James.
No, he's
James
definitely
Michael,
definitely legendary. But that's going to be it for us today. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you're subscribed, following us, depending on the platform you're listening. And we'll see you guys next week. Till then, lights out, everybody.